Top 10 Spider-Man kills. How long is this?
Welcome to
10 minutes, man. Here we go.
Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Spider-Man kills. For this list, we'll be looking at the times the web slinger has shockingly dealt the killing blow to someone.
My man had a blicky? Nah, he really from New York. This man had a whole blicky and shot someone. Spider-Man?
In the Marvel Universe. What was your favorite time that Spidey went too far? Are there any deaths that we've missed? Let us know in the comments.
Who that?
Number 10. Venom and the Sinner Six. Earth 70237. Far into the future, an old Peter Parker works alone in a flower shop, having given up the hero's life.
Give me 1 second, chat. I gotta look for something. Who? Okay. All right. I was looking for something. I was checking the mail because I was supposed to be getting a package, but I didn't see my package there, so it might be coming in tomorrow. Woo-wee.
New York no longer has heroes and villains, just a tyrannical police force known as the Rain. We learn that Venom has been working behind the scenes to turn the city's inhabitants into an army of symbiotes. Peter takes up the mask again and works his way through the newly formed Sinner Six. Sandman turns against the villainous League, giving Spider-Man a detonator linked to explosives embedded in the bodies of the Sinner Six. Spidey sets them off, killing Venom, the team, and saving everyone. It was either that or Venom brought on a new age of darkness, so probably the better call. Number 9. Charlemagne. With great power comes the increased likelihood you might hit someone a little too hard. Wolverine was once in love with an ex-KGB agent called Charlemagne, Charlie for short. Years after they separated, he picks up her scent while she's being targeted by Russian assassins. Peter ends up in Berlin on assignment and the two heroes cross paths. Charlie requests Wolverine to kill her as she has no other way out. He agrees, but Spider-Man can't agree with Logan's decision, and the two battle it out. During the fray, Charlie sneaks up on Spider-Man, who fatally punches her by accident. While there was no bad blood between all parties, this death would haunt Peter for a while. Number 8. Modular Man.
Did my man just deck her? Did my man just punch her to death? He punched her?
Wolverine was once in love with an ex-KGB agent called up her scent while she's being targeted by Russian assassins. Peter ends up in Berlin on assignment as she has no other way out. He agrees, but Spider-Man can't agree with Logan's decision, and the two battle it out. During the fray, Charlie sneaks up on Spider-Man, who fatally punches her by accident. While there was no bad blood between all parties, this death would haunt Peter for a while.
Damn, he punched her that hard, man. He gave her like a permanent concussion.
Number 8. Modular Man. Spider-Man certainly seems to get more murderous when he teams up with other heroes. The time he teamed up with X-Men's Beast was no exception. Modular Man was a molecular scientist trapped in a metal exoskeleton who attempted to become a being of pure energy. Working with another villain called Killer Shrike, he was almost successful, using microwaves to grow to an enormous size. But before he can complete his transformation, Spider-Man and Beast use Shrike's electric claws to overload him, causing him to explode and die. There isn't any way around it, and Peter shows plenty of regret, despite admitting they didn't have a choice. Number 7. Drom the Backwards Man. When Drom was a child, he was cursed with reversed aging, growing rapidly from an old man to an infant. When he sees the power of the Iron Fist and Spider-Man, he tricks them into fighting each other so he can harness the energy with a unique mirror to stay alive. But when they realize they aren't enemies, Drom kidnaps Spider-Man and plans to drain all his life force away. The two heroes face off with him, and they smash his precious mirror, causing the Backwards Man to de-age until he fades from existence. Number 6.
Damn.
Shade. Can you kill a ghost? Spider-Man doesn't seem to think so. Adopting the moniker Shade, Jacob Nash began trapping people in the astral plane so he could return to the real world for brief periods. After one of Peter's students is victim to his ghostly shenanigans, he heads to the astral plane with the help of Doctor Strange. There, the two battle it out. Spider-Man wonders what would happen if he tossed Shade into the prison where he absorbs his victim's energy. Turns out, it causes a huge explosion. When questioned about Shade's death, Spidey isn't too remorseful about it, saying he knows people who've been dead before. However, we have yet to see Jacob return. Are you trying to avoid responsibility here, Pete? Number 5. Digger. Imagine angering 13 different criminals, and then they all come back as a radioactive Frankenstein's monster. In 1957, Maurice Ferrelli killed several mafia bosses and their chief lieutenants, burying them in the desert. That area also happened to be a testing site for gamma bombs, the same kind of radiation that made the Hulk. As a result, a somewhat sentient zombie amalgamation rose from the grave called Digger, who sought revenge on Ferrelli. Spider-Man battled the Berserker but was overpowered. So Peter put his stamina to the test by wearing him out until the gamma energy depleted. Once it did, digger blew up,
Best
and Spider-Man
PS5
blew it off
exclusive as
as
of now,
fighting
in your
something
opinion?
that wasn't even a...
You said the best PS5 exclusive right now? Miles Morales was so good. I love that game, but it was short. If Miles Morales was as long as like the regular Spider-Man Marvel game, that would have been easily. But damn. But PS5 exclusive. I mean Miles Morales has a PS4 version. Yeah, it's not a PS5 exclusive. Returnal was really good. I thought Returnal was great. Returnal was really good. Ratchet and Clank I thought was really good as well. Even though like the turbo boots were broken, because you could like break the game with the turbo boots. Ratchet and Clank was really good. I'm trying to think of any other PS5 games. Demon Souls. A lot of people told me Demon Souls was good. I still got the game and I haven't opened it yet. Returnal and or Ratchet and Clank. I heard Demon Souls was good.
Live. Number 4, Moondark. Spidey didn't even try to save this guy. While visiting San Francisco, Mr. Parker gets attacked. Parker fights him until daybreak, where he transforms back into his human form, Jack Russell. Jack and his friends were watching a magic act when everyone fell into a trance. He was then forced to transform and attack Spider-Man. The two pay a visit to Moondark, and Spider-Man shoves the sorcerer into a portal called the Mists of Passage. This sends him falling to a watery death off the Golden Gate Bridge. Spider-Man is not at all guilty about it, even joking about how he won't cry over a spilt magician. Number 3, Tracer. Most of the entries on this list see Spider-Man either regret or comically shrug off the people he's dispatched. But here, he's very conscious of taking someone's life and doesn't care at all. During the other arc, Aunt May gets a visit from the villain Tracer. When Peter arrives back at the Avengers Tower, he snaps and strangles the high-tech bank robber to death. It's then revealed Tracer was a machine. What makes this so shocking is that Peter believed Tracer was human. He showed no indication of knowing that he was a cyborg and was completely aware of what he was doing. While some may give him a pass because it was a robot, it's still scary to see Peter cross that line.
Bro, who cares if Peter crossed that line, bro? He's literally messing with Aunt May. If you messing with family, you about to get the Vin Diesel special. And him choking him out, 100% understandable, and it was justified. And who cares if he was a robot? Strangle the robot till its circuit boards go out.
Number 2, Massacre. This is probably the most brutal scene of Spider-Man intentionally killing someone. He shoots a villain point blank. During the Superior Spider-Man storyline, Dr. Octopus transfers his consciousness into Peter's body to prevent himself from dying. But once he takes control, he takes a liking to the whole hero business. However, he's a lot more brutal in how he goes about it. The villain Massacre has just finished shooting countless civilians, and Doc Ock concludes that while he may go to jail...
Wait, Dr. Octopus possessed Spider-Man? What the fuck? Yo, Spider-Man got a lot of different alternate versions of him. No wonder that that all these multiverse movies start happening in regards to Spider-Man. I think that's so cool that there's so many different versions of him. But how did that even happen? How did Dr. Octopus possess him?
He'll just get out and do it again. So, Spider-Man shoots him dead in the face.
Damn.
Against Peter's wishes.
That's
Before we
cool.
unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Dr. Octopus.
Oh, that's that one Spider-Man, the one with the suit and the boots with the leather suit that we unlocked in the Spider-Man game. Remember?
Earth 312500. In an alternate timeline, a violent Spider-Man ends Dr. Octopus. Vulture, Earth 90214. Spider-Man Noir kills a cannibalistic vulture before he can get to Aunt May. Morlun. Possessed by the Other, Spidey chomps down on Morlun's head.
He ate him?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Gwen Stacy. This is perhaps one of the most contentious entries on this list. As Peter and Green Goblin battle on Brooklyn Bridge, Gwen falls towards the river below. Spider-Man attempts to save her, but as his web grabs her, we hear a snap. To this day, there is a debate as to what exactly happened. Some say that Green Goblin killed her. Some say the whiplash from the webbing caused Gwen's neck to snap, killing her. Peter is shaken to his core over what happened to Gwen. In an alternate universe, he goes ballistic and kills Green Goblin. In the aftermath, he becomes the villain Goblin before realizing he's transformed into what he once stood against. Regardless, it's a devastating moment that changed Spider-Man forever.
Bro!
Do you agree with our picks?
Wait a
Check
minute.
out this-
So that was the one that was based off the Andrew Garfield movie. But then in the Andrew Garfield movie, didn't she fall just barely above the ground and the back of her head hit the pavement? Because that's what happened in the Andrew Garfield movie, if I remember correctly, right? Damn, so my man tried to save her. But I mean, realistically speaking, that sounds very realistic. Like you're falling so fast and a web just grabs you and stops you from falling all of a sudden. And then you could just get whiplash. You said I thought her spine snapped? Damn. That's crazy. Alternate Spider-Man sounds super cool. Like, I wish I had the time to learn about all the different alternate versions of Spider-Man lore, because it just sounds very interesting.